Greetings. Welcome, everyone. Happy Saturday to you. How are you? How are we? Hope you're having a great Saturday. The first Saturday of the month. So, this is a very active Saturday. This is when people normally get money, do their shopping, pay their bills, and then try to ration out the rest of the money for the rest of the month. For those with once a month incomes. Not necessarily what they call it welfare, but um, there are some places that do get paid once a month, state employees. So it happens, and you got to make the best of it. You need that budget, need a spreadsheet. I used to live off of a spreadsheet when I was middle class. I'm low class now. Well, you know what I'm saying. I'm not six figures like, all in YouTube. I wish I knew your secret. In fact, I can work for a few of you and then I can become six figures. How about that? Are we are we cool with that? Can we try that? It's an idea. I think we could do it. I think we could pull it off. Yeah, so hit me up if you're in Chicago. And I'll work for you and I'll work for about two of you. And then I give me six figures. How about that? Because I don't have six figures and I would like it. And I just look at the people that talk about it and I'm like, what do they do? Where are they? When I go to bed, they're on YouTube. When I wake up, they're on YouTube. How? How, Sway? But anyway, a lot of people had some bad weather last week, just like Chicago. So hopefully you're doing well. You're not snowed in. And in Chicago, we have these things called dibs, and we don't play. If we dig ourselves out and we put our dining room chair there, that spot better be there when we get back. We ain't playing with you. Yeah, that's a Chicago thing, and it might be somewhere else too. But we were on the news about it because people were kind of active when their things were moved when they got home. So we don't play about them dibs. Well, we got a great show for you, and I am so glad that you guys sent the well wishes to Classic Ruby last week. And like I told you, she would get them through the airwaves. And now she's healed. It's a miracle. Yeah, she is back with us. So I know you guys are, was fiending about them Karens, but I couldn't get you the Karens last week. I got you one little short one, but I left you with a little gift. I wanted you guys to click on that link from last week and check it out. And what I'm going to ask you, if you notice what I noticed about that particular activity in the Zoom room where that lady was in bed and it was some activity going on and she didn't know her camera was on. If you looked at the time, the dude was finished in less than a minute. Mm. That is a darn shame. I've heard of a quickie. You got to get up and go to work, but less than a minute? Come on now. Come on. You got to do better than that. Less than a minute? No. We talked about that a little bit last night. About 17 seconds. That's what it's down to, according to our esteemed Cerulean Gray. But that's a shame. 17 seconds. I think I don't even want it if that's the case. I don't even want it. But I will say this before we bring up the beautiful and lovely Classic Ruby. There was an instance that I experienced that was 5 seconds. And I'm going to leave it like that. All right. Without further ado, you all know what to do. Put your hands together. Let's welcome back the wonderful, the lovely, the classy
Stay down there, girl. Stay down there. Listen, Spice, I gotta apologize, girl. I couldn't get down there today.
Classic Ruby, everybody. Classic Ruby.
Couldn't do it. All I can do is lie here with my giant twists of my micro dreads. The dreads is the most Jamaican part of me right now because I am glued to this couch. Okay, I'm underneath 7,000 layers of warm flannelly niceness. But I am here. I am here because I'm pretty sure that our Sir Petty would never forgive me if I made him go 2 solid weeks without the Karen. So I'm here. I am here. I am here.
All right. Yeah, I think he would get you. Yeah, I think he would get you.
Right? That's when I listen. I ain't got no flights and what I'm not advanced enough for that. So I just have to show up. That you know what I mean. I can't take it. I can't. And we all know how Sir Petty is. Right?
Oh yeah.
Because he knows that revenge is best served cold, and he's a very patient man. And I can't afford all of that, right? So he gave me the warning. He said, Ruby, I really need them Karens. He said it last night at the end of the show. And I woke up today and went, oh, man, I ain't up for this. Maybe I should call in. And then I just saw the picture of him over the mountain. And I was like, in my head, I was like, all right, I'm coming. All right, I'm here.
I know that's right.
Right? I made it. I'm here. Okay. And actually, I do have, I have so many Karens open right now. Because a bunch of them are like minute long, whatever. I can't even tell which tab is which. So we're just gonna pick them out of a hat. Interestingly enough, y'all, I know y'all like when I do this. There will be a Karen in one of my stories. Like it's more like a lead up. It's all associated. So you're gonna get one early. So make sure you stay tuned because you don't want to miss this one. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good day.
All right, good deal.
I had some making up to do. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't know what to title the show. I'm like, I'm just going to just do it and then put the titles in there later. We've been doing this long enough. People know what it is. That's the way I looked at it.
Pretty much, right? If they don't, well, get caught up quick. That's all I gotta say.
That's right. Okay, so this creep, we're gonna start here. As always, you can learn something from it, even in crime. You can learn something. So let's play this. Oh boy, it's horrendous. But let's go ahead and play this creep, and here we go.
Justin Evans is accused of impersonating a police officer and raping a woman. Now he wants out of jail and is asking the judge to lower his bond.
I was just want a chance to be able to make a reasonable bond, that way I can plead my case from society.
Evans' girlfriend wants him out too.
We're currently in a relationship for about a year now.
May he stay at your residence?
Yes.
Prosecutors.
Oh boy. I had to stop it. I was going to try not to stop it, but I think I'll be today going to be stopping day. When it hits me, I just got to do it.
Hey man, stopping weekend, right? We already started this yesterday. It's a trend now. It's all right.
Girlfriend?
Yep. Oh, you surprised? I wasn't surprised by that.
Girlfriend, stay at your house. Well, because I read the story, because I was going to actually just read the story and play a little clip, but this was the update for 2021 because it happened, I think, December. So I wanted to play this, but dude only been out of jail for 5 months. So I'm trying to figure out how they've been dating for a year. Yeah. So,
girl,
boy,
you didn't know?
I don't. Okay. Let me keep playing.
You didn't know about these fools? Sure. There was for like the end of 2021. A lot of it was being consumed by these idiots. All right, who got girlfriends, who were in prison at the time, right, and spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars on them between when they were in prison and when they got out. Right, these were people that they met while the person was in prison, and the most surprising part about it is that they were men, because the women writing in, like, so there's like these pen pal type of things that they got set up. And apparently, and I'm not sure how this works, but apparently they actually have them like online, like you're allowed to have like online access now. And so people set up these kind of pen pal things, and they turn into like relationships, just like any other internet relationship online, right? And these women are fascinated by the danger of these convicted criminals, right? Like, I mean, you think about like Ted Bundy and all of those murderers, right? You had women writing into them, wanting to sleep with them, blah, 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 right? Like, there's just a brand of broken, insecure woman who's about that kind of dude. That's what it is, unfortunately.
Man.
I know. I know.
Uh,
I know.
okay. Let me continue.
All right.
Prosecutors say on August 9th, 2021, Evans pretended to be a police officer and pulled over a vehicle with 3 women inside. They say he then told one woman that she was under arrest and tied her hands behind her back with a zip tie and drove her to a nearby apartment complex where they say he raped her. They say Evans then drove her back to the location of the initial stop and let her go. Additional charges were filed against Evans when another alleged victim came forward after reading media reports and recognizing his car. This time, the crime was captured on surveillance video. Deputies say you see Evans driving a dark-colored Chevy Malibu, pretending to be a police officer, pulling over a woman near the corner of Brook Street North and Bush Boulevard East. The video shows him making her get out of the car and patting her down while her 7-year-old son was inside the car.
I just want to stop it here and tell you ladies that the pat down is not something that happens. So the first thing should happen is asking for identification, because they have to make sure that they're safe. They don't know who they're pulling over. They really don't. So they ask for identification. So right there is a red flag that they want you to get out the car. No ID, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind. All right. I'll stop here and give you a story. No, I'll wait for my story, because what's going on with some of these news clips I'll play, YouTube will tell me, no, you can't do this, copyright. So I have to um, mute it. So the way I look at it, if I have to at least, if I have to cut it, let me tell my story at the end of it, so at least you'll be able to hear it. So let me finish this, and then I'll give you the story, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He leaves a short time later.
The supervisor is willing to hire him there.
After hearing
Ain't no supervisor want to hire him. Oh, what? Well, what time, when he getting out of jail after his rape conviction? Oh, sure. We want to hire you here. Yeah, come on. Yeah. Make sure you're registering everything. Yeah. Get out of here, lady. Stop it.
from Evans and his girlfriend, the judge decided the high bond of over $630,000 will stay right where it is. Gloria Gomez, Fox 13 News.
Okay, so let me tell you the story. I was coming home one time, or going home one time. I had left my boyfriend's house at the time, and I was going down the street, and this car behind me was flashing their lights. So I pulled over to the side to let them go past, because I know, I didn't do anything. And they pulled over as well. Nothing happened. I'm like, okay. So I went on and started back to driving. They started flashing their lights again at me. I'm like, what do you want? I pulled over to the side again. This time I waited a little longer. They would not do anything. They just pulled over and just sat there. I said, okay, I got something for you then. So I went back to driving, and they did start doing the same thing again, flashing the lights, and followed me and everything. And then when I made that right turn and pulled over in front of the police office or station, they didn't pull over with me. They kept going. And I'm yelling, at the car,
Hmm.
hey, wait a minute, where you going? Come on back.
Hmm.
Certain I just went on and I waited a little while and took a couple extra turns and then I went on home. So that was my experience with that happening. But there was no way I was gonna get out of car or anything like that because I know I didn't do anything. The time of night it was, and flashing the lights in a regular sedan meant nothing to me.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
uh,
Wow. I mean, like, cause I heard that what's her name, Gina from Martin was lying about her issue. But it's an important thing to bring up that this is a real concern. This does happen. Um, and this is why the buddy's getting denied bond. I don't know why he would have thought otherwise. It's because you're going to impersonate. There's already tensions enough between, a lot of the world and the police force. And then you're going to impersonate an officer and commit such a heinous crime, right? Like and that's the thing. That is the fear. We already have enough fear, especially if you're black. You already have enough fear, so then you,
right.
you add this kind of fear to that either it's a real cop but he's super dirty, or it's not even a cop at all, masquerading, and they're trying to pull you over because we have to obey the law so they can desecrate you basically in some way or another. It's horrifying. Oh my gosh.
And it's
I'm so glad you had the sense to do something else. You know what I mean? Like, wow.
yeah, and this dude is using zip ties and a Chevy Malibu, saying that he was a barber. That's the part where I was reading the article when it first happened, when he was first arrested.
Mm-hmm.
So he had the Chevy Malibu, called himself a barber. He was only out for 5 months. He just finished 16 years in prison.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is going on? Whew.
Yep.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
It's
mm.
it absolutely, absolutely terrifying what is out there. And
Yeah.
wow, like I said, all I can say is listen, people need to be on their, they got to be aware, got to be on your P's and Q's. You got to look for those things. Like if someone knocks on your door and they just yell police, man, use that peephole of yours. Get one of those. They have those peepholes now that they're bigger. So you don't have to put your face right up against the door. You can see from further away, or you can get a video one, right?
Yes.
And ask for identification. Know what the real badge looks like in your state, city, whatever it is. Know what the real current uniforms look like. You know what I mean? Like you
Yes.
got to know these things. Ask for identification. Who is this officer? Call into the station and confirm that's a real name and a real officer. You know what I mean? Like you got to protect yourself because, oh, wow, just
Mm,
terrible.
yeah.
Yep. How's a girlfriend? Well, so you know what? Listen, we're gonna criticize her, but how can we? Because Nicki Minaj. That's what I got. Got 2 words for that. Nicki Minaj. If Nicki Minaj is caping for her man,
Mm.
what do you think the rest of the women are gonna do? I'm just saying. Um,
Yeah.
another interesting thing I'll say, it's a weird way to state it, but another interesting thing, another thing that is trusted a lot in our society, at least, right, is the innocent whiteness. Okay, and so that includes women and their children, right? Our children
Hmm.
are seen as adults, right? Our children are seen as, violent and scary and whatever, but their children, right? They're like these innocent can do no wrong, even if all common sense in a situation tells you, nah, something ain't right here. They're going to give them kids the benefit of the doubt. And I'm going to show
Hmm.
you a case of this because a young man, he's a teenager, really only 17 years old, was just convicted to 100 years in prison He was charged originally when he was 15 years old, charged as an adult, 100 years in prison. I'm going to show y'all this story, and you'll see what I mean when I say they ignore common sense. Let's take a listen.
Let's get over to Trevor Peters, who's dealing with the breaking details report. Trevor.
Guys, the sentencing hearing for Nicholas Kedrovitz began a little after 1:30 this afternoon, and within the last 30 minutes, a judge handed down a sentence of two 50-year terms to run consecutive. That means Kedrovitz will serve 100 total years, 50 for each sibling. We were there as he walked into the Indiana courthouse today. Last year, Kedrovitz was tried as an adult and convicted. Prosecutors say he suffocated both his 2-year-old sister and 11-month-old stepbrother in their Osgood home in 2017. At the time, police say the teen confessed to freeing the siblings from, quote, some sort of hell. Kedrowitz's mom says she believed her son was forced to kill them because her boyfriend was abusive. Here's what prosecuting attorney Rick Hurdle just said after the hearing.
You know, being from a small county, I think we all feel like maybe we're part of a utopia of sorts. But, you know, I think this death rocked the community. And when you have the death of a young child, I mean, other than maybe a senior citizen who's more vulnerable, who's more innocent than a not even 1-year-old and a not even 3-year-old.
Now, this is the end of a story we've been following for several years now. You can see our continued coverage on our website, fox19now.com. At the alert desk, Trevor P.
Wow.
All right, so I'm going to tell y'all how this played, because it's crazy that he was able to kill both of these siblings of his.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2 separate instances. It's not like he killed them at the same time. And he wasn't even caught because he killed his siblings. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So let me tell y'all these stories, okay? Now, unfortunately, when he was, this was 2017, okay, that this all happened. So what happened was Nathaniel's dad, Stephen Ritz, who was engaged to Kendra Witt's mother, told authorities he had asked the 13-year-old to watch his toddler half-sister while he went to check on the other children elsewhere in the home. Moments later, Kendra Witz, holding the child in a towel, told the parents that the child wasn't feeling good and had stopped breathing. Desiree's mother, Christina McCartney, attempted CPR until first responders arrived. The baby was transported to hospital but died 5 years later. 5 days later, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
An autopsy performed the following day did not determine a cause of death. 2 months after that, on July 20th, authorities were once again dispatched to the home after reports of another unresponsive child. 11-month-old Nathaniel was rushed to hospital where doctors said the baby's heart had stopped completely, some 20 to 30 minutes before first responders arrived. Christina McCartney would later tell police everything was normal that night. The family had had dinner and watched TV until they asked Kendrowitz to take his baby brother to bed. Minutes later, her son reemerged and told her something is not quite right with Nathaniel, and he's not acting right. He ain't moving. Nathaniel was pronounced dead shortly after midnight that night. Once again, an autopsy would prove inconclusive. This has happened twice now in 2 months. You give a baby to your son, and the baby's dead.
What?
And nobody blinks an eye about this. It wasn't actually until a month and a half later that suspicions arose, when Christina McCartney called Indiana State Police to let them know her 13-year-old son had mutilated a kitten to the point of almost killing it at his aunt and uncle's home. Okay? The cat had apparently scratched him, so he squeezed it, mostly to death, in retaliation. And when his relatives decided they needed to put the kitten out of its misery, Kendrowitz asked if he could go with them because he wanted to see the kitten's brains splatter everywhere.
Mm.
This kid, you can't tell me this is the first time he has said and done. Really, once they get to the point where they're murdering, they've been saying and doing very disturbing things, and it's being brushed off. And I have a feeling that if he had killed that kitten in the presence of the mom and dad at their homes without auntie and uncle there in the presence,
Mm-hmm.
there would not have been any call to any police at all. Police actually had to contact the aunt to then get more information, and she's the one who told them that he was falling behind at school and was frequently in fights, often lied and lost his temper. She said that he reminded her of the Hulk. It was decided that Kendrowitz should undergo a psychological evaluation. This is still about the kitten. Okay? This is about the kitten. After
Wow.
it was completed, psychologist Dr. Linda McIntyre told police she believed Kendrowitz might actually be responsible for the mysterious deaths of his siblings. This is because he killed a
Might
kitten.
be. Okay.
Might be. He
Okay.
had to literally like torture kill a kitten in order for anyone to care and do something. And even that's like, well, maybe. So after reading her report, the police interviewed Kendrowitz. The court document showed he made multiple statements about freeing his siblings from Satan and hell. And when asked if he was responsible for freeing his siblings or causing their deaths, he did not respond. He then told detectives he had had a conversation with God about his siblings, but had promised God he wouldn't tell anyone. When they asked to share just a little of the conversation, he agreed and said after Desiree and Nathaniel had died, he had dreamt about how an angel had helped him save them from hell and the chains of fire, and how he didn't want them to live in the hell he lived in. When asked for his definition of hell, and this is right here, mommy's lying for him. When asked for his definition of hell, he replied, chores.
Okay. Alrighty then. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a sick family tree right here. Yeah.
Chores. This was so now in September of 2019, it was decided that the then 15-year-old Kendrowitz should be tried as an adult. That means he was 13 when he slaughtered these two children. And you think about how disturbed a 13-year-old would have to be to murder his baby siblings and the things he must be saying, the behavior he must be displaying. And no one got him psychological help. No one did anything at all to try to curb this, catch the. That's what kind of, these parents need to be charged too. I'm sorry, but this is insane. How do you overlook this?
Right.
Wow. Yep. That, So yeah, they now he's going to prison for 100 years. Honestly, if it was anything but the murder of small babies, I'm not an advocate for charging children as adults. I'm not. I think that it's normally really unfair just because they're so malleable, they haven't even finished developing and blah blah blah. But in this case, I'm pretty sure this kid's a sociopath, and prison is a great place for him. So yeah.
Yeah, away from society, wherever that is. Nice hole. It doesn't even matter at this point.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Well, this story is shocking, but then again, maybe not. Um, Shout out to esteemed Shadra Cursa for bringing it to my attention. But because it was in the neck of my woods, as they say, in Illinois here. And I've heard about the fire, but something was going on at the time. I don't know if that was the day or evening that I heard shots, and I was trying to figure out where it came from, and I don't know. But I knew about this fire, but just didn't look into it. So Eric Wong, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Eric Wong from Channel 7 News. His face says it all. And I think his face is saying, "You really want me to report this? You know this ain't true. You know that. I don't even believe it. But I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to try to share the story without giving anything up. I think that's what his face is saying.
Mm.
So let me share the actual visual story, and then I have some reading to share. Let's see, where is the screen? But I think that's what his face is saying. Like, really? You sure you want me to? You want me to report on this? No, I don't even believe this. You sure? Okay. All right. And here he goes. Speak up, Eric.
Within 12 hours after smoke alarms first sounded, this firefight continues. Officials say this warehouse was stacked floor to ceiling with boxes of documents, providing ample fuel for the fire.
Tonight, this massive storage facility, a total loss, gutted by flames. What began, workers say, as a few boxes on fire, growing into an inferno.
These walls are collapsing on us. We don't want to get any of the firefighters within that collapse zone. So at this point, we're all aerial operations.
The trouble starting around 10 a.m. inside the 250,000 square foot facility on Humbracht Circle in Bartlett, used by a document storage company called Access. Officials say a sprinkler system initially kept the fire in check, but when a series of steel racks that were used to store boxes collapsed, there was no saving the warehouse.
When that rack storage collapsed, it took out the sprinkler system in the building. Once we lost that sprinkler system, we could no longer control that fire.
The smoke billowing for miles could even be seen on our live Doppler 7 Max radar. Nearly 10 miles southwest of the fire, a resident in Geneva sent us this photo of possible ash from the blaze found in his yard. But officials say the air is safe.
It's just paper products that are burning in there, so we're not really concerned with air quality at this point.
Officials say no one was injured and all workers have been accounted for. The cause of the fire still undetermined. Messages left for that document storage company, Access, were not returned.
Yeah. Now, the sprinkler system was taken out according to the fire chief. Let me see. I'm gonna try to freeze it on. Well, you can see the. Okay, that's even better. Now, I know documents. I've worked in a warehouse before, and I know there are the steel shelves, and they hold documents because some time ago, you had documents. They were recorded on fiche. Is that how you pronounce it, fiche? It's been so long.
Yes, microfiche and microfilm. Mm-hmm.
It felt so funny saying it. I had to think. I'm like, was it fiche? It just flowed out my lips. I'm like, it seemed like they told me look for the fiche, and I'm like, it's a fiche. But yeah.
Yes.
So so I go back. So I had to look for that in the 80s, and I don't know about these steel shelves. I don't know about how heavy they are, but I don't get the sprinkler system part. That doesn't add up. And I'm going to read the story, but I just don't get it, because if it's a building, most buildings, they have floors. And I have not seen a sprinkler system on just one floor. I've seen it on each floor. So if the fire started on the second floor and there's 10 stories, what happened to the other stories? So something doesn't add up, doesn't make any sense. And that's what I'm going to read. And I'm also going to show you, when I switch the screen, a picture of a sprinkler system. It's just a little, what do you call that? A diagram. It's not the actual sprinkler system, but it'll be something we'll have a graphic to look at. But let me read this story to you. Because even though this is the Bartlett warehouse, it is named something else, and no one knew anything about Ameritrade, because the records it wasn't recorded as Ameritrade on their documents. But let me read the story here. All All right, I'm on another page. So the Bartlett warehouse fire seems to be a record storage facility owned by TD Ameritrade Incorporated. Okay, scrolling. The retail community finds it incredibly suspicious since the incident occurred after the SEC announced 60 hedge funds were to undergo investigations for manipulative short selling. The address of the Bartlett warehouse fire can be traced through SEC reports. Okay, keep scrolling. Right. The warehouse caught fire on Thursday morning, February 3rd. Officials say the warehouse was stacked floor to ceiling with the boxes of documents, which further fueled the fire, via ABC 7 Chicago. The Bartlett fire chief anticipates the fire to be a multi day event. The cause of the fire is undetermined. This news has retail investors baffled as the location of the building. 1200 Humbrack Circle matches an SEC filing tied to TD Ameritrade, the broker company. Okay, scrolling. Now, what makes the news rather interesting is that the storage company Access is not filed as the owner of the warehouse. After doing some thorough research, the retail investor community found that the warehouse actually pertains to TD Ameritrade. Okay, scrolling. You might be asking, well, why is this even significant? The SEC and DOJ have initiated an investigation on hedge funds in regard to illegal short selling activity. Retail investigators find it rather curious that a warehouse linked to the trading broker TD Ameritrade casually burned to the ground after the news of the investigation surfaced. Ugh. What a coincidence! Okay. Um, Hedge funds have been under heavy scrutiny from retail investors, most specifically from the AMC and GME community after the meme stock frenzy early last year, 2021. Hedge funds have been able to suppress the share price of both these stocks through predatory short sale strategies. In a Bloomberg exclusive, Gary how you pronounce his name? Gensler states 90 to 95% or retail market trades do not go through the lit exchange or LIT, not sure how they pronounce that, but rather through dark pools. And that is the end of the story. Okay, now let me show you this sprinkler system. Okay, let me share this page. Okay, no sound. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm no freelancer or anything like that, but I will say I have an idea of what I'm looking at. I'm looking at some nice water tanks that I know are in steel or something that should not be burning. And the pipes are moving up because you have to have pipes up so it can sprinkle down. So I'm trying to figure out how is some steel racks that are holding some boxes of items that are not moving collapsed. How, Sway? How? It just doesn't add up. It just does not add up. This is a wet system from frost-free rooms and dry system for rooms exposed to frost. I'm assuming that they use this type of system. But you got all these different valves and everything, and it costs a lot of money to set this up. And it's some great engineering because that's the whole purpose. They have to get this checked in, different inspections, and it costs money. So, you know, why would this fail? How could it fail in an entire building? If anything might have happened, it might have started to go off and they shut it off or something because the whole darn place just didn't just fail. Come on now. You have different levels. It makes no sense. Stop it.
I feel like now on one side I'm with you on that. On the other side, I feel like it must be very easy for these systems to fail. And the reason why I'm going to say that is because of the way my condo harasses my life over the fire alarm system. It's asinine. No, seriously, they do monthly fire alarm checks. Okay, I live in a box. It's literally a box. It's a very overpriced box. So the point is, it's a box. So if there is a fire alarm thing, right, on the wall of the bedroom, but like, because right outside of my bedroom is the kitchen, right? There's a fire alarm on that. On the other side of that, in the whole condo, you can hear that. But no, there's another one in the bedroom, literally on the other side of the wall. Like they're literally, if I unplug one of them and they come around and do their fire alarm checks that month, then the inspector comes. It's a whole thing. Like they were threatening me with tens of thousands of dollars of fines because I was leaving it unplugged because it's so it's so deafening. The one in the kitchen is deafening. You can't hide from it, right? But they are so like the fines for even one little thing not working are so huge, right? And so the building is gonna keep harassing us monthly, every month. Like I grew up in the good old days where when you lived in a building, there was maybe 2 or 3 bell fire alarms, right? Like it was like literally a bell and it was banging the metal thing and it was in the hallway of the apartment. Like not in your apartment, it was in the main hallway. And that's
Right.
what woke you up. I was in the good old days where that was more than sufficient to wake up every damn buddy in the house. And it was, right? But now apparently that's not enough. No, the ones in the hallway are not enough. You need 15 inside of your individual condo. And then even that, it's like they're so scared one of them's not or is going to fail, right? Which then makes me think, okay, if they're being so anal about this, they must fail a lot, right? Like these systems must fail a lot and it must have caused a lot of deaths and they must have had to pay out a lot of money because otherwise, why would you go through and do this? Like it just seems so ridiculous to me, right? Like I literally feel like they're doing it just because they like torturing poor Ruby, who's the vampire, right? Like that's what I feel like. But I feel like maybe these systems do fail easily. Maybe it's like it's very glitchy, non-reliable system. No one's ever updated it, and so somehow they fail easily. That's how it must be. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help their cause. That's what it is. I really.
Yeah, well, I think they doing well. I think all that stuff that's building them suburbs, they got all the money. They build that thing right. They did everything correctly. This was some BS because of the investigation, and with them on that. You on Monday you say, "Hey, we're going to look into this," and then in the morning, 36 hours later, yeah, okay, right. And you seen how that fire is. I mean, it took everything out.
True.
Everything from the top to the bottom.
Another thing is, Shar, is it's just like those condos that collapsed in Miami or whatever, right? And then it came out that no, this developer at that time created a lot of buildings that were seriously subpar. Um, and then it gets into the argument, the question of, well, were they just using subpar materials as well? Things that were too flammable, that didn't have the flame retardantness to it. I don't know, with their sprays or just but like from the drywall to the insulation to the whatever, other than a sprinkler system, they have other things that are built in to kind of help if something does light on fire, though it's gonna be slowed down based on the materials we used and whatever. And it's like, did y'all just skip that part, or I don't know. I'm wondering. It really very much seems like they skipped that part. I don't know. Hey, listen. Well, we all try to work that out. Okay. Let's get to Canada. How do I phrase this?
Oh, Canada.
Yeah. But Canada ain't trying to be Canada. Canada's trying to be America. See, what happens is Canadians are bored. I say this a lot and people don't believe me, but Canadians are honestly bored. And so because we're bored, what we like to do is pick up American problems and American identities and then run around with them. Okay. And I'm telling y'all that in a nutshell describes the quote unquote siege, okay, at the Capitol in Canada. First of all, because they're calling it the capital. No one has ever called Ottawa the capital. Yeah, it's the capital of Canada. No one calls Ottawa the capital, first of all. But you know where we got that from? The Capitol riots at where? America. Secondly, because of the way the coverage has evolved over the last 9 days, right? At first, it was a peaceful protest, the truckers protesting, right? And now it's a siege, and y'all will hear. But before we get into it, I promised y'all a little bit of Ken in my coverage today. So let's take a look at my Ken in my coverage. All right. Now, this is one of the Ottawa truckers, so we're all clear. And this happened at the U.S. Canada border. Okay.
You, sir. I can't touch that because
Quarantine. These are also quarantine test kits. You're not going to take them? Okay.
All right. Now you just littered.
Okay. You have to take your day 1 and 2 tests. You have been served several documents. Also, that mask does not meet the federal requirements for masking. So the next time, I'm giving you a warning on it today. The next time you come through, you'll be fine for having that mask. Okay.
Did you know? I have a few questions for you, sir.
He does not give a shit at all.
Okay, he did his job. I'm gone. You argue with yourself. I'm with him. I like him.
Right? You know, zero care given to your foolishness. Okay. So now what we're gonna do. Okay, I personally love the coverage that TYT does on some things, and this particular Ottawa Hall siege, I think their coverage was just spectacular. And you know what? They came to the same conclusion I did. So let's take a quick listen to this. Okay, and I got one more quick thing to show y'all on the Ottawa Hall siege from the truckers. Okay, it's just so stupid. I swear to Char, I really need Canada to get its own problems. I really do, because it's ridiculous, right? Like, we started protesting for George Floyd. Now, I'm not saying that, that's not like a worldwide identity issue, but like we're protesting things here, happening here.
Mm-hmm.
Man, really? Okay, no, okay. It's okay. I'm fine. Let us listen and take a little look at what's going on in Ottawa.
Tell me I'm free to be lost.
By the way, this is not a trucker. This is one of the poor people who live in this general vicinity of the capital, who's losing his ever-loving mind. And you'll see why. Okay.
My mind because I haven't slept in 5 fucking days.
In Ottawa, Canada, that guy and many others had enough.
He French, I can tell.
Nearly a week ago, hundreds of truckers rumbled into the Capitol State to protest vaccine mandates. 24 hours a day, they've been leaning on their horns. The sentiments were captured on the side of this truck, F. Trudeau. And in Canada, the Prime Minister, the federal government, has nothing to do with the mandates. A fact lost on many truckers.
Stops when the government lifts the mandates. You fucking idiot! The mandates are provincial, not federal! The mandates! If you're mad about wearing a mask or getting a fucking vaccine, go talk to Doug Ford!
Okay, well, you know what?
Prime Minister has nothing to do with it!
Actually, he does.
Do you know anything about civics?
Yes.
By all accounts, the demonstration has turned into an occupation. Residents cannot sleep and they can't drive around the city because the streets are clogged.
All we hear is these horns going all night long. It's driving us crazy.
We're trying to get to campus, but all of the bus routes to campus are closed.
They're in what I would call the splash zone. I feel bad for them. But
when you want to change something in history, there's always going to be some uncomfortableness.
But it's been more than just uncomfortable. The so-called Freedom Convoy has included anti-Semitic signs, the desecration of monuments, and the participation of far-right political activists, including supporters of Donald Trump.
The honking will continue until freedom improves. Simple as that. Simple as that.
Fuck you.
Fuck me. Fuck you.
Oh.
Thanks for joining us. Police in Ottawa say they have found a significant American component to the protest and noteworthy American funding. GoFundMe page here in the United States, the convoy has raised.
Of course they have, because this is not our problem. Like, okay, honestly, normally Canada has a vague amount of more common sense than this. Whereas you are protesting Trudeau. But what your problem is as an Ontario trucker is that you are being required to be fully vaccinated in order for you to cross at the American border. That is an Ontario law. Ontario mandated that. Not all of Canada, Ontario. So you have to talk to who? The Premier of Ontario, which is who? Not Trudeau, right? So this is, they're torturing the citizens of Ottawa, okay? Torturing these companies, torturing them. And it's to no avail, because Doug Ford ain't nowhere near any of that. He's sleeping peacefully. Like, it has nothing to do with him. He's observing none of this except for watching news like everyone else. But like, okay, let's take a look.
Over $10 million. Law enforcement authorities in Canada say they have begun several investigations, but are reluctant to try and break up the demonstrations because of fears of rioting and possible violence. And the police chief in Ottawa, he's suggesting there is not a policing solution to all of this. So the residents of Ottawa are essentially stuck. They've been pleading with the truckers to knock off the horns at least overnight. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is calling the truckers a fringe minority and says the convoy reflects the proliferation of, quote, disinformation and misinformation online, conspiracy theorists about microchips, about God knows what else that go with the tinfoil hats. But the protesters, who now have the support of several Republicans in the U.S. Congress, argue that leaders around the globe, including in the United States, are abusing their authority with heavy-handed vaccine mandates. So the clash and the noise in Ottawa continues. The truckers insist they are standing up for freedom. Residents say the convoy is actually taking away freedoms. Business leaders point out the convoy has forced the closure of countless restaurants and shops, costing millions of dollars. And according to nearly everybody involved in Ottawa, including the truckers, this clash does not have any ending in sight.
No, of course it doesn't. It can't, because they are fighting the wrong people about the wrong thing. Because even if Canada relents and gives you idiots what you want, it's not going to get you across the border. Why won't it get you across the border? Well, hold on. Let's take a look at the last thing I wanted to show y'all, because I wanted y'all to really get an idea of the full scope of the problem in Ottawa. This is just ridiculous. And it's all day, guys. This is 24/7 around the clock. And it's been 9 days. 9. Okay, take a listen.
As public health measures, a huge crowd that is growing by the hour. Ottawa police warning residents to avoid all travel to the downtown core. Just some of the scenes there from the nation's capital where thousands have gathered. The protest began as a means to oppose the vaccine mandate for cross-border truckers. And as you heard, many are celebrating and calling for freedom. Now, more people are expected to arrive throughout the day, and some have said they will not leave until their demands are met.
Yeah, here's the problem, though. Again, can't happen. But let's take a listen to why it can't happen. I really like this answer. It was a good answer.
Okay.
423. All right.
Well, let's talk about the issue around these pandemic rules and regulations, whether it is the truckers or people who have jumped onto this convoy. The whole issue is we want some of these demands to be met by the federal government. Is there any indication that the federal government is going to concede?
No, there's absolutely not. In fact, the Prime Minister and the senior ministers have made it clear that they are sticking with the vaccine mandate for truckers, and they are not moving on off their position that vaccination is the best way out of this, and that there needs to be public health restrictions to convince more and more people to get their first, second, and possibly even their third shots. And even if they did capitulate and get rid of the vaccine mandate for truckers, which is ostensibly at the center of this, it wouldn't matter anyway, because they couldn't cross the Canada-U.S. border because President Joe Biden and his government has brought in a vaccine mandate for people crossing into the United States. So even if Canada got rid of its mandate, the United States has one in place, so there is still a barrier and an obstacle at the border that these trucks, as big as they are, simply cannot clear. So the politics on this has been pretty clear, because in some ways this debate, Natasha, is a continuation of what we saw in the last federal election campaign, with vaccine being a big wedge issue, the Liberals firmly behind it, the Conservatives voicing support for vaccination but voicing opposition to vaccine mandates. And some of their members of Parliament have been out supporting people today up on Parliament Hill, meeting people in trucks along the protest routes. And Aaron O'Toole, the Conservative leader, met with some members of this convoy in private, trying to show support for the cause, but also distancing themselves from some of the extreme groups that are part of it. Because, Natasha, you got to remember, some of the organizers have this manifesto that they've written that they want to dissolve Parliament while they're here. They want to occupy Ottawa until the Trudeau government is removed, and a committee of people organizing this protest, along with the Senate and the Governor General, rule the country for 90 days and undo all of these health mandates, even though most of these are provincially imposed mandates or private sector imposed mandates. So it's kind of a fantastical manifesto with no foundation in Canadian law or ability to do it. And certainly none of it is going to change the mind of the Trudeau government. And, to even point out the Canadian Trucking Alliance, they point out that 85 to 90% of their members are vaccinated. That's in line with where the Canadian population is. Support for vaccination is incredibly high in this country, just by the uptake and what we see in public opinion polling. So there's no political pressure on the Trudeau government to move. And certainly, despite the noise and the size and the determination of this crowd, the federal Liberals are not going to drop their plan here.
CBC. Not good.
Oh, okay.
Even if they did, it doesn't matter. You're still not getting across the border, because Biden put it in the mandate saying you can't cross that border without being vaccinated. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, but what you want to do is do what? You want to overturn democracy? You want to overthrow their current government? Well, of course they'll capitulate to that. No, of course they won't. You're not going to win this. So there is no end until they get tired and go home, right? There's no end to this, because Canada is a peacekeeping country. They ain't sending out the military, whatever, to shut this down, right? And they can't win. Their demands don't even make sense, because even if Trudeau were to give in and say, fine, I resign, it's not going to change what Doug Ford has said for the province. So no matter what Trudeau says, Ford can say whatever he wants about what Ontarians have to do. And that's what it is, right? It's kind of like state versus country for y'all, right? So if there's certain things that are under state control, that doesn't matter what the president says, your state can still control certain things. Well, that's the same thing as province versus country here. So if the province is saying, no, you have to da-da-da-da-da, then it doesn't matter. The Trudeau could come out and say, I'm against this. Freedom. And it's not going to change the fact that as an Ontario resident, you still have to do this. So it's just stupid. So that's what's happening in Ottawa, y'all. In case y'all were wondering, they don't, in essence, want to have to be double vaccinated in order to do their jobs as truckers involving crossing the border. And they have no choice. So there's a stalemate. And it's going to just continue until I don't even know. There's no end in sight, literally. Yeah. If you live in Ottawa, I suggest you move. Or at least like travel to a friend's house somewhere where you can sleep. Because I don't see how this is going to end.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, you discuss trucks in your article. I'm about to discuss cars. That's what I'm going to discuss. We have this lovely Sophia on the screen here. Yeah, very submissive. And let's listen to her story. Yeah.
30, a one and only exclusive. A woman arrested accused of forging signatures on documents at her job to help people with bad credit buy cars. And that woman worked at a dealership in Miami Shores.
Police say an unsuspecting victim started getting bills to pay for cars they didn't purchase. Local 10's Ian Margot live to explain this one. Ian.
The allegation here is that a financial manager at the dealership forged a woman's signature on a document for a car she never agreed to co-sign for. And police say the financial manager did it for a commission.
31-year-old. That sound familiar. Commission. Okay.
31-year-old Sofia Pinedo was arrested on Thursday, charged with forging someone's signature on a document for a car purchase worth more than $50,000. Pinedo works as a finance manager at Tropical Chevrolet in Miami Shores, and apparently on September 30th of last year, a man came in to buy a car. but the man's credit wasn't good enough to buy it on his own, so he used his ex-girlfriend as a co-signer.
Now, ain't that about something? He went in there to get a Chevy Malibu or whatever he went to go get. I think it was a BMW. But anyway, he goes in there to get a car. His credit not good enough. And he's going to use the ex-girlfriend's information. Ain't that about something? Let me continue.
As a co-signer. Both of their signatures are on the documents, but the man's ex says she never agreed to co-sign, never went to the dealership, and never signed any documents.
Okay. Yeah, I'm stopping it. I'll go back a little bit for you. But I wanted to point this out. The dude went there to get a car. His credit isn't good enough. He's going to use his ex-girlfriend information so he can get a car. So this single mother, because it's an ex now, they're not together. This ex, the single mother, she's good enough to use her name to get something he need. But yeah, let's continue.
Documents. In Pinedo's arrest warrant, police say that victim even provided 2 notarized documents with her signature on them, and that those signatures clearly don't match the ones on the document provided by the dealership. Police also checked license plate readers in Miami Shores and on expressways in all of South Florida and found no sign of the victim's vehicle entering the area on September 30th. In fact, the victim's boss confirmed she was at work that day on the other side of the state. So, how did her signature get on those documents? Police say Pinedo told the man she would send the documents to his ex for her to sign, but instead, she forged the signature herself and submitted them because she earns a commission on every car she helps sell. And when they asked Pinedo about it, detectives say she lied, saying, quote, the defendant advised the victim was present and signed the documents in front of her.
So Tropical Chevrolet tells me they are taking this seriously and cooperating with the investigation. They say Pinedo has worked here for 6 years. She's been put on leave until this investigation is complete.
She's been put on leave. She didn't lose her job. She's been put on leave. What does that sound like to you? That sounds like, she's been doing shady for us for a while. And, during this pandemic, we're struggling and we need, her shadiness. So we're going to just pretend that we're going to do something about this because this is how we make money. This is how we put food on our table. Ain't nobody buying no cars out there like that. A lot of guys from YouTube, they're not, these 6-figure guys, they're not buying no cars. So they don't have no money. So there you go. They got to do what they got to do to eat. So they're going to keep on using the submissive Sophia, and she's going to keep on signing as soon as, they find another way of doing it so they won't get caught the next time. Yeah.
That's about right. I have zero argument. Zero. No. That's exactly like what it is. I mean, come on. Really?
Right.
Come on. Enough. Yep. And she'll still have her job as soon as the heat dies down.
Exactly.
They'll probably be paying her a little commission under the table just to help her get by. She'll be fine. Yep. But it's okay. Very submissive. I see that. She always puts her man first. She's good people that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something. Yeah.
That's how I saw it. Y'all didn't hear it like that. That's how it sounded to me.
Okay.
I don't know. If y'all didn't hear it that way, maybe y'all are biased. Okay, you're biased against this wonderful
submissive,
submissive woman. Yeah. So so Char, I was doing some research, on my deathbed over here, and I was watching this video, and there's this whole controversy on TikTok about white culture and how white culture doesn't exist, right? Black culture exists because Black Americans, as a minority group, created their own culture, being in proximity to one another, but that white culture doesn't exist. White culture is just more about having an identity to a supremacist group. in essence, right?
Mm.
And I was thinking about it, I said, you know, the guy's video I was watching, it was a good video, it was well put together. And he was saying, well, you know, you have to have not just shared ideals as far as you being supreme, but, you know, shared culture as far as religion, language, foods, whatever. Name a white food, right? And he was this white dude and he couldn't think of one. And I thought of one immediately. And that leads us to our current story. Because I'm telling you, if you didn't think that this food is white culture, well, I'm telling y'all that if people are willing to kill over it, it is definitely important enough to be considered culture. So let us take a listen to this one.
Mm.
An Iowa man was sentenced to life behind bars for the murder of a friend he repeatedly ran over with a pickup truck after a fight about mayonnaise. Christopher Erlbacher, now 20,
Yeah, you heard that right. It said mayonnaise. Okay.
Oh, wow.
used his truck to ram Caleb Solberg, 30, outside a cafe in the small town of Pisgah on December 17, 2020, the Des Moines Register reported. Erlbacher initially drove away, then came back and ran over Solberg 2 more times, according to the Register. The two had been out drinking at a bar with another person earlier in the night in nearby Moorhead, but things took a turn when Erlbacher spread mayo on Solberg's food, which riled Solberg and sparked a bar fight, the Woodbine Twiner Herald reported. A furious Erlbacher called Solberg's half-brother, Craig Pryor, on the way to the cafe, and threatened to set Solberg's house on fire and shoot him, the newspaper said.
Over mayonnaise. This is all over mayonnaise. It's not something else that happened. They were cool. They're friends. They're chilling. And because person A put mayonnaise all over person B's food, person B is out threatening to burn down his house. Okay, let's keep going.
They should have did a commercial. There go my ego. There go my ego.
Right? Damn.
Pryor later came to Dave's old home in Pisgah, where another confrontation was brewing. Erlbacher eventually rammed his truck into Pryor's, then rammed Solberg. Erlbacher's first blow to Solberg did not kill him. He can be heard screaming for his brother, Craig Pryor, District Judge Greg Steensland wrote in the verdict, according to the Twiner Herald. Rather than just leave, Erlbacher went down the street, turned around, and came back to strike Solberg a second time. To be sure he had completed the job, Erlbacher drove his truck up and over Solberg one last time. Erlbacher then drove off, but his truck broke down a short while later. On the phone, he told Pryor that he had killed Solberg, according to the verdict. Erlbacher was convicted after a bench trial in December last year and sentenced Monday.
Yep.
What in the world?
Yep. So mayonnaise is that important. Now, what is interesting, right? Erlbacher did later claim he had no intentions of killing Solberg, despite the not once, not twice, but 3 separate times that he, yes, intoxicated. But listen, intoxicated, you run your car into someone once, you could be like, I was drunk. You did it 3 times. That first time really sobered you up. And you still decided it was worth it for you to keep coming to try to kill this dude. Over mayonnaise, Char. Over mayonnaise. Like, I mean, even the stuff that he was saying, right? So, like, when his truck broke down, he then reportedly called Pryor, confirmed that he had just run his half-brother.
Right.
Half-brother. Oh, man, the thing jumped. I can't even believe them. They're ignorant. See, now they're making me look crazy because I am stuck at the half-sentence, half-brother. It jumped all the way to the start again. I don't know. It's like the ads and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, it does.
It just did it again. I swear to God. We're going to fight, me and this thing. Oh, here we go. He then reportedly called Pryor and confirmed that he had just run his half-brother down and killed him. Half-brother, not friends, half-brother. And then he said, we won't have to worry about his mouth anymore. I would have got you too, but I kind of like your kids, he told Pryor. Remember, Pryor didn't do anything. So Pryor is the third person that was there. And what happened is Pryor heard that tensions were escalating, so he showed up to try to calm everything down. And then Buddy, after his truck breaks down, Earl Walker calls Pryor and says, yeah, I killed my half brother. I was going to kill you too, but I kind of like your kids and didn't want them to be sad. So, yeah.
Oh.
What? Over mayonnaise. Mayonnaise. I'm guessing that the half brother is the one who's half white. Because here's the thing, just because your skin is peachy doesn't mean you're white, right? So you can be Russian or Italian or whatever, right? So you got the half brother who identifies with his white side, and this other half brother who identifies with his Russian side, right? Or whatever it is. And the Russian side, nah, he's not about all of that mayonnaise stuff, right? But the white culture one's like, no, trust me, everything's better with mayonnaise. Here, let me put it on. Trust me, you'll love it. Now his burger's ruined, right? He's wasted $10 because he ain't eating that crap. And there you go. The murder over mayo.
Literally. Well, next is going to be our Ken and Karen. I know everyone is waiting. Yeah, we waiting for it. Yeah, give us a good 20 minutes. Woohoo! And let's see. Let's look at Ken get Turnered. Yeah, let's get Ken Turnered. What you say, Ken? You better get off that brother's face.
Yeah, this is not your apartment. Do you have an ID on you, maybe? That fucking...
Dude, seriously? You attacking me? Seriously?
Get that phone out of your...
Hey! What the hell's wrong with you? You stupid?
Knocked him all the way back.
Oh, that was good. Fair.
Better back up.
Right? It's a good feeling inside, though, y'all, isn't it? Just
It is.
Feeling inside. It feels warm and tingly almost, right? I know. Y'all have been waiting a long time. Uh-oh. What did I do? Okay, well, whatever I did, I'm going to undo it real quick. And in the meantime, I know y'all have been waiting a long time. I got lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots for y'all. Okay. So first, we're going to catch a quickie. This is how Karen behaves on planes when she doesn't get her way. It's really what it's about. Okay.
We're coming, folks. Little technical difficulties.
Oh, wait, it's not playing?
We got nothing.
What in... Girl, I'm sitting there watching this and enjoying it too. What is happening? Okay, share, click, share. Okay, now we go to the third, share. You know how many times you all have to click share in order for sharing to happen? It's not my fault. Right? Okay. All right, we are here now.
All right.
Now, are we ready for this? I don't know. I feel like this one looked a little familiar, but it's still hilarious. So we're going to watch it again. All right.
Oh, okay.
Get off of here. Ma'am, I'm trying to... watching you attack her. You go out of here. Thank you. You watch her, ma'am. I need get off the aircraft, please.
Weirdo.
Girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? You gotta wonder, right? What the hell was in your mind that you thought just screaming at the top of your lungs was going to do anything to improve your situation? That's what I want to know.
Absolutely nothing.
Right? God damn. Okay, now this one, I like the title of it. I think it's amazing. Embarrassed relative apologizes for his Karen aunt. I would have named it Aunt Karen, but it's all right. It's cool. Still great. All right. I love this. Look at this.
Oh, starting off already.
All right, let's do it.
I don't stop. I never stop.
Yeah, you do.
I do not.
You think we bang on the ceiling for fun?
You bang on my ceiling all the time. I am so tired of it.
For fun? You think we do it because we're bored?
I am tired of you.
Well, I'm tired of you, lady.
I'm tired of having to listen to your crap every night.
I don't do it every night.
Every night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
You need to get her, sir.
You
need to
can
her.
get my. Yes, I am tired of you.
Oh, thank you.
I am not going anywhere.
Let me tell you something. My kids are asleep. Get your ass back upstairs, lady.
I am so tired of you.
Get upstairs. Go home. Go home.
What you
Hey, you
gonna
need
do?
to get her. I'm gonna call the cops. You need to
Come on, honey. Call him for what?
because you're on my
I'm
doorstep
decorating
screaming
my
at me.
tree?
You're on my doorstep screaming at me, and my
Why did you
5-year-olds
come
are
up to
asleep.
my house?
I do.
We
You don't
have, and
answer
you
the
never
door.
answer the door.
Go home.
Why
Go
should I
home.
answer the door?
Go home.
So you can call the cops?
Listen, my kids are in here asleep. Go
She
home.
admits it.
Kids.
You know her?
I know you don't care about me. You scream at my ceiling every night. Why should I care about you? I'm so tired of you.
You know her?
Merry Christmas.
She's my aunt. I just got here. I've been driving.
I just got here. I don't know nothing. You know, I can't help who I'm kin to. I'm sorry.
Right? I listen. It wasn't about me. I didn't know. I didn't know. Okay, that's what he wants. He wants y'all to understand. He has to claim her because she's blood, but he doesn't really want her. He's on your side. Okay, so. The poor guy. Imagine, like, I'm always like, remember when you're like a kid and you're like embarrassed that your parents bring you places or do stuff, whatever. Like, imagine that's your aunt.
Ooh.
Oh my God, the
Ouch.
horror of it all.
Mm.
All right, now this quickie clip of Karen is Karen Target Tammy. I like that they renamed this all to Target Tammy over here. Man, anti-masking. I'm telling you, anti-masking is going to be the thing that destroys modern civilization. But all right, let's take a listen.
By Columbus Circle, and this idiot is bullying the cashiers because she doesn't want to wear a mask, and she's streaming on Instagram. And they love drama, so let's give them drama.
So I don't, just in case y'all missed that, she said a mandate is not a law. So that's her reasoning. She's not even pretending she has like medical stuff or something. She's like, no, a mandate's not a law. So what? So there. A mandate's not a law. So what? Okay.
It's got to be a woman date, not a mandate.
Right? Yeah, if it was a femme date, that she would obey. All right.
Right, femme date, yeah.
Let's give them drama.
Because I'm not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Faggot, leave.
Oh my God, do it again. I love that. I'm obsessed with that.
Okay.
So what's your name? Well, if you're strong in your convictions, just say your name.
Mandate is not a law. Okay.
Isn't really willing to give her more, like...
First of all, let's just make fun of the fact that she called this guy the F word, right? The gay slur. For what? I don't even know. So if y'all thought that was a black woman thing, it's not. Apparently it's just a woman thing. I don't know. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, now listen, I'm not co-signing what our this dude is about to say. I'm not co-signing, but I understand why he did it. Okay, let's listen.
Okay.
Airtime, like she's just another idiot. Like we've all seen them. But the best part is that when she started getting huffy, I saw her earphones like fall like out of her bag or whatever, like off to the side. And at first I was like going to get her attention, and then I saw what she was doing. So while she was like on her little tirade and standing up for her rights or whatever, I just picked them up and I just took them. And so this bitch will not have any music, and we'll have to buy new headphones. Signed, a fat.
Either she's going to do Amazon or she's going to put that mask on and go to Target.
Right? Well, then apparently then she's never getting earphones because she's never putting on a mask. Never. All right. Now, y'all, we know Karen likes to say the most offensive things all the time. But apparently there is now a new offensive slur that you cannot use against Karens. She gets highly offended over this one, y'all. Let's see what Karen objects to being called.
Oh.
I love that this man started recording. It's hilarious. Okay.
Caucasian is not the word you want to say when you're about. No, don't record.
I just want to make sure we're in 2021. Caucasian is not a good word to say.
I'm not speaking for half
Wow.
the people in here, but I'm just saying, just don't say that.
Don't say Caucasian.
No.
Got it. Caucasian is this is the most on-brand 2021 shit ever, bro. Literally, I just got told a word I can't. This is hilarious, my nigga. This nigga cool as shit.
Stupid white people. That's it.
That's the brand name. I'm not saying you're racist. I hear that, but just so we're clear, right? And this is just for my legal protection. Come to a white bar saying Caucasian. Caucasian is a slur in 2021. You cannot say that. I love stand-up comedy so fucking much. You cannot have this shit anywhere else. You guys have been great.
You don't know what you're getting into.
Yikes. Oh, that sounds like I might get hung, so I'm gonna roll out. You guys have a nice day. Bye. Nice meeting y'all. Nice meeting y'all.
I ain't standing around for that.
It feels like I might get hung. So
okay, so that's my cue.
Oh my god, yo, that's a lit Caucasian, y'all. Caucasian.
Wow.
That is just too much. Okay, y'all don't be ignorant. How dare you call white folk Caucasian? That's all I got for that one. That's all I got for that one. Okay, now this is a real quickie. Quickie, but it's a goodie. It's gonna be a goodie. Okay, this is people are getting frustrated. I think that's what it is. People are getting frustrated. Now, I'm not saying just because you're frustrated you can act any way, but I am saying again, just like our first guy, right? I understand. I very much understand. Let's see what Ruby's talking about.
Okay.
Make sure the sound is. Yeah.
Out of here! Get the fuck out of here! Get out of here! Give me my keys! Get out! Give me my hands on everybody! Get the fuck out of here!
Off my watch.
Get out of here!
Oh, she tried the ground thing. Nope. The sliding across the ground was my favorite part. She did not care. If you don't put your feet under you, you're gonna get some ground burn, but you're going.
Okay. Gotta go.
Right? She was done. No, you will put your hands on everyone? Nope. Out. Oh, I'm gonna fall on the ground. Innocent Karen. Nope, you're still going. Oh, but nope, you're still going. You can put your legs up underneath you or not. I don't care. Either way, you are landing out of this store. Now, okay. Y'all. I know we're at 8:58. Okay, we're gonna run a little overtime today. We're gonna run a little overtime, okay, because I saved the longest for last for today. I do actually have other ones open, but we're running out of time. So this, y'all, I got commentary on this one, okay? I got commentary because on one side, I think that Karen, I hate to say this, but I do think Karen made a single solitary valid point in this video, so I do want to agree with that real quick. But yeah, no, the rest of it's just it's good. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so now I'm not gonna give away too much, okay? Because our narrator, our filmer of the story, he makes sure to give us the details. So we'll just go right on ahead. All right.
Go fuck yourself,
ma'am.
Cartnark.
So you can walk all around the store.
How about that? Fuck
your
yourself.
delicious McDonald's and
Go
delicious.
fuck yourself.
I love Bang
I
energy
don't
drinks,
care.
but you're throwing it at
I
me.
don't give a shit.
So let's see how that started.
The real irony here is person in a handicap spot, which, by the way, clearly she doesn't need, is blocking the handicap exit area. So the next person who's really out now started the car. Just
this is her right
turn is on the other lane, but it's right over there. Oh no! All right, boys, it's time to light her up. Hey, man, I'm sorry, that's not where the cart goes. That's in the handicap walkway. Someone who's actually handicapped might need that for like their wheelchair or something.
Uh-oh.
Like someone who's like in a.
Oh no, I'll move it. I mean,
Thank you. See,
and I do have a handicap actually.
Well,
So just let you know, but I get what you're saying.
is it lazy bonesitis? But like the hand. Is your disability lazy bonesitis? Because I saw you walk around the store and.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Think you're being
And I literally jerked my back, and now it is killing me.
Sorry.
And today's been a better day. But have you seen my MRI, sir? And who the fuck are you?
I'm the cart narcs.
Okay, well you can cart narc, go fuck yourself.
Well, that's not
How's
nice to
that?
say.
Well, lazy bonesitis. How about asshole-itis?
Well,
I'm a. Don't stutter at me and get the.
Okay, now I'm gonna agree with Karen here, because here's the thing: people think, right, that these spaces, the wheelchair spaces, are for people explicitly in a wheelchair, or for people that you can you as an outside party, you can visually identify, yep, this person needs that spot, right? But you're not a doctor. You don't know this person. You have no idea what their condition is, right? So you making that judgment because you saw them walking for any period of time and it looked all right to you in that moment, you deciding that they don't have the right to the handicap parking, permit or the space. Like, you have no right to make that judgment. And I say that as a person who has experienced this, because I have one, right? And I have good days and bad days and worse days. And on my absolute worst days, I don't even leave, right? And, on some really absolute worst days or bad days, I have no choice but to, leave and whatever. But I also have good days. I also have great days, right? But in my great days, I still have kind of a lot of limitations, including the fact that I can walk for about 15 minutes and then I get stuck, outright stuck. Can't move anymore. I have a big problem. So me parking 10 minutes away from the front door is not going to happen just because I'm having a good day and someone else might have a wheelchair. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, so you can't judge that though. You don't, like she said, you haven't seen my MRI. You don't know my medical history. You don't know anything about me. So you saying you saw me for 2 minutes walking and therefore I don't deserve this. Like, no, you're a piece of shit for that, bro. Like you had no right, no business to do that. But with that being said, I'm going to call bullshit on Karen. And the reason why I'm going to call bullshit on her is because of something she says later. Because I know why she has the disabled parking permit and it's not because of her. And she says it. But okay, we'll keep going.
Okay.
Man, you didn't let me finish my great statement.
No, thank you, sir. You can leave me.
I'm a responsible personitis. That's what I have. I have too much of that. The cart corral's right over there.
Personitis. You have to go fuck yourself, itis.
I don't think you make it. That's not where to go.
There. How about there? How about this? You want the cart there? You can go fuck yourself and put it there.
I don't want to put it there.
I don't know who you think you
Let's
are,
say
but don't ever tell somebody with a disability, is it lazy bonesitis?
Well, it might be.
You're a fucking dick.
Well, I'm just pointing out. Wait, don't hit me,
Oh,
ma'am.
I'm not going to hit you. I'm going to take your glasses. I'm going to throw them on the ground.
Well, that's theft and
That theft?
yeah.
Theft? Is that theft?
Yeah, taking my stuff and destroying it's theft and vandalism.
Sitting here and being an asshole.
And pointing out when you were being lazy is what I did.
Lazy. I'm not being lazy. I'm hurting. I have an autistic daughter I take care of, and I have a disability. Go fuck yourself,
ma'am,
cart narc.
So you can walk all around the store.
How about that?
You
Go
just
fuck
throw
yourself.
delicious McDonald's and
Go
delicious.
fuck yourself.
I love Bang
I
energy
don't
drinks,
care.
but you're throwing it at
I
me.
don't give a shit.
Look,
Get
man,
the
let me
fuck
give you my
out of here.
let me give you
I
my
don't
business
know
card.
who you think you are.
I'm the cart narc.
But
I
don't
told
ever
you.
tell somebody with a disability it's lazy bonesitis.
You got a pretty
Go
good,
fuck
you
yourself.
got a pretty good
cart
throwing
narc.
arm for someone with a disability.
Throwing arm, it's my back, asshole.
You still got to use your back to throw. Would you like my business card or not?
How about that? Go fuck yourself.
No, how about my business card?
I don't know who you think you are, but don't ever tell somebody
I told
with
you.
a disability they have lazy bonesitis.
But you
Take
do.
your cart narcs and go fuck yourself.
Would you like my card? Thank you.
No, I'm glad you're
You
afraid
tore
of
my
me. You
car.
better be.
Well, I don't want you to assault me again.
Assault you?
you've
I
already hit-
threw drink on you,
That's
little
assault.
girl, okay?
And that,
Be a little girl.
and as a feminist, I take offense with that. Girls are just as powerful as men. I am.
Go fuck yourself.
You can ask my
Before I
friend.
Run you over. How about that?
That's. I'm not in your way, and you shouldn't threaten.
Oh, and
Ma'am, you shouldn't threaten assault like that. And I'm staying out of your way.
how about this?
What?
I'm actually gonna go inside to my friend, the manager, and tell her that you're.
What? I would absolutely.
Don't.
I'm not going to talk to you.
That's right. Y'all thought it was over. It's not over.
Don't talk to. I'm the one who's backing away.
I don't know who you think you are.
I'm the cart narcs. I've told you a million times. I'm backing away, and you're the one who threw stuff at
I'm
me.
gonna go tell Walmart that you guys are
you going to start?
narcs.
Yes. Are you going to start with what you did, leaving a cart in the middle of the handicap area? We got to start with that. 'Cause that's why this whole.
Let's start with this. Go fuck yourself. And I don't know.
We're not starting with that. That's happening.
Tell Walmart that you're harassing people.
I'm not harassing. I'm pointing out.
Disability.
I'm in a calm
you
manner.
You just call me lazy. You've never seen my MRIs. You're not inside my body.
You're walking
you
around.
Go fuck yourself.
In the time you've walked back and forth.
I have to take pain medication to even walk around.
Right, but in the time you've walked back and forth and thrown your stuff at me, you could have walked your cart back to the corral where it belongs.
You can also go fuck off and not harass people.
That's not harassment.
Tell me you're going to harass this lady if she leaves her cart.
That's not harassment, ma'am.
Are you going to do that?
I'm the one
who's going to do?
We do it to everybody, no matter what.
Okay, well, I don't give a shit, but do you insult them and tell them they don't have a disability?
I didn't say that.
You just said it's lazy bonesitis.
Right.
That's my disability.
That's my suspicion, yes.
Is it your suspicion?
Yes.
Okay, no, I have 6 bulging discs in my neck. Look, I have 3 bulging discs in my back, and I have degenerative arthritis.
I believe.
So go fuck yourself.
But how did that not affect you when you're going throughout the store for the past
half hour? What do you mean not affect me? I told you I have to take pain medication to even walk around.
So why couldn't
you?
My name's Sebastian, Agent Sebastian with the cart narcs.
Agent Sebastian. So
how?
Why do you harass people?
Not harass.
Agent
I'm
Sebastian.
saving the next person with a real disability who might have
a real disability.
Who might have
Don't ever insult somebody and tell them they don't have a real disability, Sebastian.
Who might have
just because they're walking around a store.
Pretty well too, may I say.
Absolutely, I'm in a hurry to go home to my autistic daughter, who also has a disability.
You're not that much of a hurry because you've been throwing stuff at me and trying to hit me.
That right there is why she has that disabled parking permit. She has a severely autistic daughter.
Okay.
She requires that permit for to be able to get her in and out of places quickly, safely, whatever. So that was the first thing. The second issue I have is that she's explaining herself, because what I wouldn't do to some random who accused me of lazy bonesitis or whatever is explain myself, because I would stick with the fuck you portion of you know what I mean? Like, who the hell are you to question me? And then I would get into my car and call my mom. Actually, I've done stuff like this before. I've called my mom and cried to her, or called my man and cried to him, or whatever, right? Because it's hurtful. But I'm not explaining myself to some random third party, trying to justify my existence to some random third party. And the way she was explaining, she was whining about it. And I'm like, dude, the amount of pain that I'm in, even with all the drugs, after walking around in the store or whatever, I don't have energy and time to stand up and explain things to you. Actually, even when I'm in the middle of fighting, the adrenaline only lasts for so long. It's a couple minutes and I got to sit down, and I'll ask you to come to my car door or something so I can argue with you from me sitting down, because standing is too much. You know what I mean? So I'm watching it. I'm like, bruh, like I said, I think he's wrong for making that assumption, but then I'm putting the pieces together and given everything, I'm like, I don't know. I think she's full of shit. And I think that's why she feels the need to justify herself. I feel that's why she felt the need to get out and push her cart. That's why she felt the need to pretend she was going to go talk to her friend who's the manager, but then won't go into the store, because she's full of shit and she knows she shouldn't be parked there. And her friend, who actually knows her, would know that, right? So that's what I think. I'm just saying. But she still makes a valid point. She's just the wrong messenger to make the point. But okay, let's keep going.
Okay.
Here,
and steal my things.
Come here, I want you to.
I'm sure you have an autistic daughter.
I'm not trying to.
And I don't think she wants her mother to be like this. If I had to, you probably could be a better role model for her. Quite frankly,
you have a son or a daughter?
I have many actually. I'm a sperm donor.
I'm a very good mother. But my daughter.
You're modeling poor.
Look,
I don't want.
They don't just give people handicaps without having a handicap, Sebastian.
Ma'am.
So that's what I don't get.
All I'm
is why you
saying
insulted me.
is you blocked the handicap
No,
aisle.
you
Yes,
said
you did.
more than that, Sebastian. You said I have a disability and it's called lazy bonesitis because I
Right.
walked around Walmart.
And then couldn't walk the extra 25 feet.
I could walk the extra 25
but you
feet,
chose not
Sebastian,
to because of
but
what?
I'm trying to get
Lazy
home to my
bonesitis.
autistic daughter.
You're not trying that hard because you keep throwing
Okay?
stuff at me.
Look, I'm not going to throw anything at you.
And,
I want
well,
to
see, you told me to back off.
No,
Here
I
you are.
want you to see what.
That's
me.
I'm sure you'd con some doctor into giving that to you. That's fantastic. The point is, you could have just taken this back and avoided all of this, and someone with a chair could have now can't get through there because your cart's blocking them. Do you deny that?
I could have conned some doctor into.
Look,
you know, Sebastian.
Yes.
You're not even a human being. You're a real piece of work.
I'm a cart narc, is what I am.
No, Sebastian.
Yes, I am.
You're a piece of shit.
Ma'am, I didn't throw anything at somebody.
Sebastian, you're not inside my body, so don't ever insult nobody.
I doubt many people are getting inside your body anytime soon, quite frankly. But the point is...
Wow.
What? Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Ma'am, please stop approaching me. I'm backing away.
Sebastian. No, come here, because I'm going to teach you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, she gonna teach you something.
She's trying to assault me.
Yo, this chick got time to run.
Cart Narcs, at your service, sir. Don't assault me with pepper spray.
Yo, with bulging disc though.
Right.
With bulging disc though.
6 of them, man.
All right.
Yup. In
Well, that
her
was
neck
close.
and in her back. Really?
And I think we're out of pepper spray range. So for all those folks who say, hey, you don't need the pit maneuver to get someone to realize the error of their ways, that is it here. Cart Narcs, that lady, very angry, very angry. Cart Narcs out.
Yo. Okay. First of all, Cart Narcs are a bunch of assholes. Yeah, I gotta say it off from junk, because goddamn, right? Second of all, yes, Emmanuel, she did say, she said she had 6 bulging discs in her neck, and then she has another 2 or 3 in her back, right? The fact that she was able to run and chase him for any extended period of time after walking around the store and then standing there arguing about foolishness. Okay, let me tell y'all the difference between a bulging disc, right? So you can have a disc that completely herniates. That means in essence it's gone, right? You no longer have that disc. So you have nothing holding these 2 pieces of, bone away from each other. Okay, that's what your discs are. Your discs are these little things that sit in between of your vertebrae, the bone, the skeleton, right? And prevent them from rubbing against each other and rubbing against stuff in between them. In a way, having a fully herniated disc is more comfortable. I'll explain why. When your disc is bulging, that means it's slid out. Okay, it's slid out of its spot where it's supposed to be. Now it's pushing on things it shouldn't push on. It's causing your bones to sit like basically slanted. It's pushing on nerves. It can push forward and backwards on nerves and whatever. And I know because I have several bulging discs in my lower lumbar and sacral region, right? Your tailbone region. So that's my issue with walking. This is why I have an issue with walking and standing for extended periods, right? So like I don't mind a Walmart because I can use the Walmart, the cart as a walker in a way. And to be honest with you, if I had gone to Walmart and then I left Walmart, and I would probably be using that cart as a walker by the time I got to my car if I was there by myself. There's no way I'm now going to be able to move that cart. I'm going to keep it funky with y'all, because if you look at it, right? So now people don't necessarily know this, but you got nerves, right? You got your spinal cord right here, the bundles of nerves and whatever, and your disc, okay, is now pushing against stuff it's not supposed to push against. And depending on where it is in your body, so if it's in your neck, that's affecting your neck, that's affecting your shoulders, your arms, your fingers, right? Your upper body in general. If it's in your lower back, like mine, it's affecting everything from my belly button to the soles of my feet. Okay? Like, this is not a thing that you got time. You don't have time to start running around and chasing people who hurt your feelings. You don't. Okay? Like, drugs are not. And listen, I am all perked up on Goop. Well, now I'm not. I've been trying to get off of them because I'd like to get pregnant one day. But I had a maximum. I have narcotics. I have nerve pain blockers. I have muscle relaxants. I have anti-inflammatories, right? I got any type of pain medication you can think of. I have it. Okay? And I'm telling you that I could not have done all this stuff that she did. And she apparently has more bulging discs than I do. Apparently. Really.
Yeah.
No, she's full of shit.
Just her anger. That's it.
Yeah. She just feels, okay, listen, I've seen this a lot in these Karen moms. She has a disabled child. She feels hard done by having the disabled child, and she feels like the world owes her, right, a little bit of leeway, right? She should be given privilege because her life is so hard because she has this disabled child at home. And that's really what the problem is. How dare you question me using this? Because the doctor gave it for my daughter when my daughter's in the car, but I'm the mother, and it's just as hard on me. That's really what we're talking about here. That's really what it was. And she didn't like being called out. She got cat. She got cat. Yep.
So true. You called it.
I called it. I tell you, I saw it. I was like, I didn't even watch the whole video in advance, y'all. I didn't. I watched the first maybe 2 minutes. So when I said, I'm like, nah, she's gonna say it because she said a daughter earlier in the video. I'm like, it's her daughter's. I know what this is. Absolutely. Before I had actually gotten my own, I was using my parent. My parent had one, but she didn't have a car. So I was she had given me hers. It's not like I was using it unfairly. She had given me hers.
Okay.
Right? Because it was before I had been diagnosed. And without a diagnosis, they don't give you any help. And I couldn't walk, but I had to get myself to doctor's appointments. I had to buy my own stuff. Like, you know what I mean? I was really struggling. And then I would only use it like if I could park in a non-disabled parking spot because there was a close one, you know, I would park there instead. Because I don't need extra space like people with wheelchairs do, right? But I did need closeness. And so I understand, and like I understand. Like I said, on one side I actually kind of get it. On the other side, the way she behaved though, she's throwing water, she's throwing stuff. She was trying to hit him, trying to take his glasses and break them. She was then trying to chase him to mace him.
Oh yeah, she was on a run.
Girl, please. You know what? And I know he probably didn't actually report her because content and whatever, but that's dangerous. Like next time she's gonna feel emboldened. She's gonna do something to someone. I think personally, I think she's gonna hurt somebody, and we're gonna see her in the news. Karen gets arrested for vicious assault.
Right, with pepper spray and hitting somebody with a car.
Right, exactly. Hit someone with her car. Exactly. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Well, this was so much fun. Welcome back. And
thank you.
We missed you. We missed our Karens.
Right.
And we won't disappoint you guys. We won't.
Exactly. Exactly. I know y'all missed me more than the Karens, but it's fine, right?
Yeah, we'll accept that. But you guys, you tune in on Friday night. We're doing a lot of reviews, and that's why I look at it as reaction and review actually of videos and different things, because there's no letters. You know, everyone is perfect. No one has any issues. Everybody's fine. 6 figures and all of that. So, hey, we got to do what we got to do. We're going to keep it going. So do tune in on Friday nights at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hope you guys have a safe week. Please keep it safe. Watch your surroundings. Don't be a Karen. Don't be a Ken. And until we meet again, peace.
Cheers, y'all.
Hi, this is Char Willie from the Just Ask Char Advice channel on YouTube. Join me every Friday night at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for an open panel discussion. You'll find myself, Classic Ruby, and others giving our honest opinion, giving several examples, and problem solving. If you have an email for advice, you can send it to JustAskChar@gmail.com. Hope to see you soon.